So this project is a 2 megawatt, 2.4 megawatt hour Tesla system with a Kiwi EMS control system attached to it. Just to give you an idea, right? The battery we have right now at Plessey reacts in about 250 milliseconds from the time you see a frequency deviation to power output. From the time you see a frequency deviation to full power output is about half a second. So almost inertia-like speeds. We use our system to provide services on the demand response side to National Grid, but we also work with WPD, for example, on providing demand response on the local network. One key piece of the project is how we work together with Tesla and how we integrate the control systems. Nobody really can do it alone. There is Kiwi, there is Tesla, there is Amber, there is Plessey, there is WPD, there is National Grid to allow a project like this to happen and to be successful.
We are at Lineage Logistics, our logistics service provider in the cold storage in the Benelux, UK and also the United States. So we see that efficiency and cost management of energy is good for us but also for our customers. Of our 2.3 megawatt peak load, 87% is flexible, and together with our aggregator we stack revenue in order to get the best benefit for us. The benefits we've seen regarding demand response are up to tens of thousands.
The most exciting thing about the project with Lineage Logistics is that it's given us the evidence for other organisations within the same sector and across the industrial and consumer base is that the opportunity to capture and balance value and also shape your load and consumption based on day-ahead prices is an opportunity that exists today on top of the value of demand response and tariff avoidance. Restore see the value of flexibility becoming much more real-time, and it will shift away from time-based tariffs in response to a transition to renewables and an increase in volatility on the network. So the future of flexibility will have to be very fast and very flexible in order to capture the maximum value for the consumer.
Dynamic Demand 2 is our artificial intelligence powered flexibility platform which enables the stacking of value streams across different flexibility services and price signals. Aggregate Industries were the first adopters of our Dynamic Demand 2 platform, which we're now rolling out across all of our clients.
What we're doing now is rolling out Open Energy's Dynamic Demand 2 platform, where what we do is we flex our assets not only to calls from National Grid, but now to calls from Ørsted under their renewable balancing reserve. So we're in a phased rollout of that, starting initially with 10 sites and 40 of our asphalt bitumen tanks. And then the idea is later on this year then to roll that out to all 48 of our sites, which is over 150 tanks and providing more than 4.5 megawatts of flexibility to the grid. The artificial intelligence within Dynamic Demand 2 is helping us to optimize our bitumen tanks, leading to a predicted 10 to 15% reduction in the operating costs of those assets.
The South Mims battery storage project is where we have a 500 kilowatt hour, 250 kilowatt battery located next to a Tesla supercharging station. And this provides a source of flexibility to what is otherwise a very inflexible demand. So what we do is do frequency response for most of the time, and then over the peak period we use the battery to charge the cars up rather than them charging up from the grid. The driver's experience of having interrupted charging is obviously paramount to the project. We want our source of flexibility to be completely invisible to the end user. Modelling that Open Energy have done has shown that by 2030, with the uptake of electric vehicles, we could have up to 11 gigawatts of flexibility from charging up these assets. This stationary storage located next to a fast EV charging station is actually the first of its kind in the world. In the future, Open Energy hope to repeat this blueprint with multiple other stationary storage assets next to EV charging stations. Having stationary storage assets used in this way allows both transport and electricity networks to be decarbonised and allow for a greater renewable penetration.
We developed a hybrid of battery, embedded generation and load to deliver dynamic frequency response to National Grid. This was a world-leading development. The main innovation in the project is delivering 1 second control across the entire UK with batteries in places like Scotland and Liverpool and load across various other parts of the UK, including London. A major benefit that we saw in the project was the fact that the flexibility customers can actually gain revenue from dynamic frequency response. This interestingly changed their attitude to the whole area of renewables, and they became much more supportive of the whole decarbonisation of the grid. A major challenge of the project was to implement the algorithm required to control those assets right across the UK and deliver the functionality required of grid. It's good to have the industrial and commercial customers benefiting rather than paying for the solution.
PowerVault spent the last 18 months working with UK Power Networks and Imperial College looking at home energy storage. So what we've done is we've taken 70 batteries and put them into the homes of people with solar panels. So we've shown that not only can batteries help to reduce the impact of solar energy going into the grid in the middle of the day, but we can also control them, and if we actively control them, then we can really make the best use of them to reduce the evening peak. We control the batteries by using our cloud-based systems, so we were able to control them and get them to all work as a virtual power station, all acting at the same time. We found that we could reduce the evening peak by about 60%, which is quite a considerable impact. Going beyond this trial, PowerVault has actually secured a tender from UK Power Networks to help them to deal with the peak this winter. And this is actually the first time that batteries in the home will be able to help the local distribution network and actually be rewarded for providing that assistance. The customers are going to be able to benefit not only from charging up with solar energy, but also from helping the distribution network and the national network as well.